Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to another edition of the Brothers of Legacy. And appreciate all my podcast people listening. Thank you for hanging and rocking and being consistent in the building. I appreciate you guys. Hey, blessings, Lisa. Thank you for rocking with us always, always. So we're gonna have a great show today. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. And if you're in the building, make sure you share. Make sure you tag somebody. Let everybody know that the brothers are in the building. It is Friday, but it's going to be a heavy Friday, guys. Warning, trigger warning. What's up, Willip? Happy morning to you as well. Thank you for rocking with us. Um, like I said, make sure you tag somebody, share this out. Let everybody know that the brothers are in the building. Um, so much going on this week. Uh, we definitely want. Yeah, I couldn't close it out because I have some things I want to share. What's up, V? Great morning to you. I want to talk about some things we discussed yesterday. Um, yeah, and I didn't close the show the way I wanted to, and the way I ever want to close the show again. And we're gonna dig into that. Just kind of waiting for some of my brothers to come in. Hopefully I didn't mess up and everybody got the right link, because every once in a while, every once in a while, I get that wrong. Something happens. All right. He in the building. Oh, okay. All right. All right. Hold on. Let's see. So, like I said, this is your opportunity to share. Sharing is caring. Make sure um, you guys share, like real talk. Good morning. I think is it does Pastor call you Aunt Sam? I want to make sure I get it right because I'm like I know Auntie or Cousin Sam because I want to. And is it okay if I call you that? That as well. The nicknames. Like you don't know me like that. All right. Hey, Mama McCory. Great morning to you. And thank you for the message yesterday. It was really encouraging. Let's see. Bam. Let's see. I think that should be correct. Bam. All right. Sit. Bam. All right. Let's hit it. Let's hit it. Where's my brother Terry at? Usually Terry is rocking with me right on time. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. 7 times I can say see. All right. So we're going to have an amazing conversation today. We're going to talk about solutions. We're going to talk about solutions, and solutions. We're gonna push it into a more positive perspective or more optimistic perspective. Auntie, oh, that's cool. You guys are my sons. Nice. Appreciate you. Um, what's up, E? Good
What's going
morning.
on, brother?
All right. So let me kick this off so I don't uh, hold the time. Boom, boom, boom. I'm like a video hoarder. I can't get rid of stuff. All right, we'll be right back.
I didn't want to catch
Good
that
morning,
first
good
before
morning, good
camera.
morning, good morning.
Ooh, welcome to another
I'll be right
edition
back.
of
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. What's up, everybody?
This episode is brought to you by StreamYard. Whether you're trying to up your production or just go live, StreamYard is the place to be. Go to bit.ly/StreamYard BOL. This episode is also brought to you by Flocknote. Start your free text community now at bit.ly free text now. That's bit.ly free text now. I put the wrong thing. Aha, I did put the wrong thing. Hey, we're back. Hold on. That's why you can't get in. I put YouTube in the group too. That's why. like, Terry's always on it. Let's see. Hold on. All right. What's the right link? All right. Link is in. I thought I put it in last night, but maybe I didn't. You know, when you're sleepy, he's like, "Yeah, I did it."
It's all
yeah.
good, bro. You only messed up twice in your life, bro.
Right. Right. Oh man, is that Duncan?
Yeah. Well, it's a local brand that America runs on. Until they start shooting you some advertising dollars, I really don't want to pump it. But it's delicious.
Do you like Starbucks? Or too strong?
Not the coffee, but I do get the
Good morning,
macchiatos.
Gotcha.
Those things are delicious, man.
I got you. You get the little flavored stuff.
Yeah, the flavor stuff, man. Yeah, the coffee a little burnt for me.
Right. Right. What's up, Shaq? Yeah, I've had to pour half milk. Half coffee.
Yeah. If I can get back there and make it myself, then yeah. But it'd be cream and sugar with a little bit of coffee, probably.
Right. There you go. There you go. Oh. All right. Did you get a chance to watch the videos I sent?
Yes.
Awesome. I didn't cue that up, so we're gonna chat a little bit. So while most of our people are in the building, I want to apologize for yesterday. And why I want to apologize for yesterday. When I started Brothers of Legacy, we started with the combination of guys just coming together, talking about a lot of things. But I always want to talk solutions. Back in the day in the 90s, I used to watch a lot of those conferences with Tavis Smiley and all the people on the panel that were well known, from doctors to activists, the Cornel West and the and you would sit and you watch, and then you got the statisticians breaking down 1 in 3 brothers always getting locked up by the age of 24. About the only thing I got out of it is I don't want to be locked up by 24.
For sure.
But the one thing I always sat and always watched, and I'm ready. Okay, so what's next?
Right.
I would literally on the edge of my seat. Okay, where we going? What we doing? Where do I need to go? What's the next step? But that was like never presented. Never presented. The next step is to do blah, say blah. Next step, go to the corner, meet a group. Let's get together and do such and such.
Right.
There was never an action or a call to action. Other than, like election time vote, but there was never a call to action. So yesterday, Mama McCory said something and it sat with me for like overnight. She says, that's it. She's like, we're angry. What we doing? And I realized I did what I used to watch in the 90s, get everybody riled up, but never give anybody a place to push their energy.
Yeah.
And I never want to close a show like that. I'm not going to tell you we'll have all the solutions, but at least a place to start, something to think about, to start from, So I never want to leave a show like that again. I never want to leave a show on such a note, that you are left with just a bunch of energy with nothing to do with it, to try to figure out what to do. So I today, and I know Fridays usually are chill day, our fun day, but I kind of want to talk more optimistic, talk solutions. There's different ways of voting, to ensure that we get out of what they call the plurality system, where it's just 2 main parties running, and you have other parties more opportunity to get in the process, because either I have to lean towards the conservative or the Democrat to really make any headway, so I either have to, I have to kowtow, to have to get rid of some of my standards, like, okay, do I even gonna believe this or I'm gonna believe this, to really make a move politically. But if you change the voting system, it'll allow more parties or more people to get in the fight, and a lot more ideas and ideals to get into the towns and get into the cities. And I think this is where the shift can happen. Let's see. Good morning, Pastor. Great morning to you.
Morning. Happy Friday.
Yes, indeed. Happy Friday. Let's see. Boom, boom. Let's see. Those feelings make me right. Right. Yeah. That's good though.
That's good, B. That's a good outlet though.
Yeah, definitely. So let me see if I can pull this up real quick.
Who said you can call me Auntie Sam?
Yeah, because I was like, I see, and I was like, I think he said Aunt Sam, and I was like, is it okay if I call you Aunt Sam? You know, I don't, take liberties. Nope. Now it's my auntie too. She gave you permission now. You hear a nickname, you think you can say, like, can I say that too?
Right.
No, Miss Jordan, to you.
I thought it was cool.
Right.
Look, that means you can get a whooping too.
Yeah.
See,
auntie comes with a blessing and a bit of two sides of that coin. I can straighten you out.
Right. No doubt. Let's see if I could. I'm sorry, guys. I meant to have this video up because I wanted to talk about. So one of the solutions, I feel, and y'all seen that movie Colombiana?
Yes.
Awesome. And if you're an audience, you've seen it. I don't have to give you the backstory. Basically, a child seeing her parents killed, or basically witnessed it, and she escaped and pretty much set in motion her whole life to get retribution, to come back. And if you've seen the movie, it's truly the long game. So she had to set the plan in motion. She had to get the training, set the plan in motion, in order to win the fight. And she did a wonderful job at getting retribution. Granted, it got messy and she lost people she didn't expect, because with every plan, it don't always go the way you want it to go.
You're never going to know where I'm going to be. You're exactly where I want you to be.
Right.
So you seen it.
Oh man.
Good.
So and I thought about that. Kind of like, this is the game we have to play, the long game. And unfortunately, along the way, there will still be more emotional moments. Unfortunately, there will still be unnecessary situations. So today, I kind of want to talk about how can we begin to shift the system, right? I don't know, what was it, South Carolina, with the sergeant that was bullying the kid on the street, pushing, assaulting,
It's one of the Carolinas for sure.
Right. That's a harder thing to change, because that's individual people,
No, not really.
Okay.
You can change him.
Yeah, you
What
can.
situation?
You may not change him, but you can change his behavior.
They make him change his address.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
change your behavior. Go ahead.
Yeah, you can. You may not be able to change his feelings,
Right.
but you can change his behavior.
Nice.
He can be held accountable for his behavior.
Okay.
So that's a short-term thing.
Yeah, and made uncomfortable.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Like when all those people showed up outside his house.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
very uncomfortable.
That'll change behavior.
You don't like black people. Let me call all of them over here.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I agree with that. Let's do this. So today, kind of want to hold on. Let's do this. Share screen.
And to your earlier point, AD, we have been playing the long game
Okay. Let's
because
see.
we've been in it since we got off the boat.
True, but do you feel like we made progress?
Yes, we have.
Progress,
You can't
sure.
deny that we've made progress because we're not enslaved.
I'm about to say this show itself is proof of progress.
Yeah.
Yeah, not where we want to be, but where
Right.
to
But
go.
not where we used to be.
Right.
Absolutely.
There's been tremendous progress, but there's just so much more to do.
Right. All right. Cool. So let's just call this a tuning up. So I sent my gentleman a video about something with dealing with the voting process. And I found out there are several different voting processes. So the voting process that we generally use in America is called the plurality say voting process, where, or it's basically who popular vote wins. And what happens, of course, the one that can get in front of you the most usually is the one that always wins. And as we know here in America, the Democrats and Republicans pretty much rid. I did get out the vote. I did. What's up, Dwayne? So we know that Democrats and Republicans pretty much dominate as far as parties in America. There are other parties in certain locals that have kind of made a little strides, but for the most part, the Democrats and Republicans have held it down since literally the beginning. Of course, the Whig Party turned into the Republican Party. They've been pretty much controlling the bulk of voting. So to basically make any moves in politics, you have to kiss the ring of either the Democrats or Republicans to really make some moves in this country. So in some states, there's been a new voting system called the ranked choice voting. Ranked choice voting. So I found a video. It's 1 minute and 50 seconds. Forgive me, it's really kid-like, but it breaks it down the quickest and the easiest to digest of information on how ranked choice voting works. Like I said, some states have begun to use it, but I want to really trigger in everybody's mind that it's something I think we should lean towards, because it at least gives other parties an opportunity to get, or those that are outside the regular circle of Democrats and Republicans, opportunity to run and win, as opposed to having to choose the Democrats or Republicans. All right, so hold on real quick, we're gonna bust this out. Let's see, some things have changed. I don't have to drink from fountain that says blacks only. Yes indeed.
I hear that on TV.
All right, and let me know if you guys can hear it. Can you hear?
No.
Oh, that sucks. All right, hold on one second. Un momento, por favor. Let's see. Stop. Share. Share screen. Share screen. Chrome tab. There you go. Did the wrong thing. All right. YouTube. Audio. Bam. No, that's not what I want. All right. Let's do this then. All right. Hey, Dwayne, how's everything going, brother? Everything's good? Oh,
he muted.
Oh,
I'm only muted because
Look in the bottom right hand corner of the screen and look at how AD is starting to look a little bit like Trevor Noah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
Just a tad bit.
That's what I was saying.
right.
His fruits and berries are overflowing.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, they are. Yes, it is. All right, let's do this. There you go. Good old StreamYard. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. That's not what I wanted. Do that. All right, let's do this one more time, guys. Is it Is Ephraim's birthday?
Oh yeah. My birthday.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, Sam.
Oh, yeah. Thanks,
Oh
Sam.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my bad. Happy birthday, brother.
Appreciate
Yes.
it, man. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah.
How old are you today?
It's my birthday.
37.
Wow.
37. Wow.
Yeah, man. Feeling it.
Wow.
Wow. All right, let's see.
Thank
Boom.
you, Lord. Another black man turning 37.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, thank you, Lord.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you, Lise. Thank you, V.
All right.
Everyone knows how
Can you hear
voting
now?
works, right?
Sure, I just put a mark next to my favorite candidate and cast my vote.
Well, it's a little different than that in San Francisco.
How's that?
Well, in 2002, San Franciscans voted to use ranked choice voting, sometimes called an instant runoff election. Voters rank their top 3 candidates in order of preference.
Oh, yeah, and if I really like someone, I can vote for them 3 times as much.
No.
Huh?
See, it works like this. On your ballot, you'll see a list of candidates. For this example, instead of candidates' names, we'll use colors.
Can we use cats and bunnies instead?
Okay. On your ballot, you'll see the list of candidates repeated in 3 rows. Your job is to vote for your favorite candidate, like before, but also to vote for your second and third choice, too. There, you're done.
Easy, and that's all there is to it.
On the voting side, yes. The counting side is where it can get interesting.
What do you mean?
If any one candidate gets over 50% of the votes, that's it. They win. But if no one breaks the 50% mark, as usually happens with so many candidates in the race, there is what's called an instant runoff. Cats are in the lead now, but under 50%. Spiders came in last, so they're out. But everyone who ranked spiders number 1 will have their next choice redistributed and added to the overall tally. Now it looks like lizards are last, so they're out. Everyone who ranked them first has their second choice added. This process happens as many times as it takes for one candidate to get over 50% of the total votes.
Wait, how did dogs get in the lead?
Well, overall, by including voters' second choice votes, dogs got the most votes.
I guess they are loyal.
And that is how ranked choice voting works.
That's
Bam.
horrible.
Yeah.
That's
You
horrible.
don't like you don't like ranked choice voting?
No.
Why? Let's talk about it.
What you're saying is if my preferred candidate doesn't get 51% and let's say 80% of the people put their second choice, voted for the same second choice, then the second choice candidate wins, can possibly win.
Right.
But I think you slightly so when the person who if nobody gets 50%, the majority of the vote, the lowest one, and all of their votes go bye-bye. So then it goes back. You still use the first place, the first place votes,
Right.
but they for the people who voted for the last choice, it goes to their second. So
Right.
So if you voted, so if me and AD and Terrell are on the ballots,
Mm-hmm.
and you voted for me, and I have 20% of the votes. AD got 40, E got 40. They take me completely off the ballot now since
Right.
I'm the bottom.
Right.
So it still goes with the first place votes, except for everybody who voted for me.
Right.
My second place vote now goes to the rest of the pool.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
Right.
The rest of the pool where though?
Back to AD and Terrell,
Right.
because they're the only two that's left.
Yeah.
So everybody who voted for me, their votes for those two goes now to their second choice.
Right.
So
And they just moved
Because
to the
their
next-
first choice is eliminated.
Right.
because
So
I'm
their vote
eliminated.
still counts.
Right.
Right. So if you're on the bottom as my first choice, then my vote goes to
The second
somebody
choice.
else.
It goes
It
to
could-
the
no,
second.
not necessarily
My second
just
choice vote. My
Right.
second choice vote still has a play.
Right.
But if
So
either
you'll see the voice still
AD
matters.
or Ephraim are my second choice,
Right.
Yeah.
So whichever one of them is your second choice, that's who your vote goes to after the second round.
right. So it could very well be that my first choice loses
Right.
and my second choice could win.
Right.
Correct.
I think
Yeah.
you know the one part I at least like about it at least, you know, let's go all the way to the presidential election. You know,
Yeah.
me and E running against Trump and Biden, because of course he probably running for a second term. At least, you know, so it can get tricky. You know, the
Yeah, but here's the thing. It can get tricky, but here's the thing. If you have a runoff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then everyone has to choose between the top two candidates.
Well, I think based on the rank choice, it seemed like
It's
it
gonna
it goes through automatic. It's an automatic
Yeah.
thing
It
based on the
keeps going
choices.
through that cycle until it's chosen. So
Right.
it's a
Yeah, but I'm-
it's an instant runoff.
But you're just extending the election cycle. Because
So
today,
you don't
if we
vote
vote
again.
today,
Right.
if we vote today, you're saying, you know, if my first choice is a Democrat or a Republican, but my second choice is an independent,
Right.
right?
Or my first choice.
Let's say my first choice was independent and
Right.
that gets dropped out. So I'm going to settle for a Democrat or a Republican, is what you're saying. Right?
Not yet. Working on it.
But
So
isn't
cool.
that what we do today?
Well,
If I voted for Bernie Sanders and he loses
Right.
in a runoff, I'm going to go vote for Joe Biden.
Right. Just to
but
make
but
sure.
it eliminates the runoff only in the sense of that style of voting is the runoff itself. So you just pick your candidates, you choose your
Right.
people.
And they'll go through the system.
And with that said, like it helps. One thing it would change, not change. One thing that could probably have a benefit is the approach that they do, like the voting cycle. We just went through all this with these runoffs in Georgia, flooded YouTube. They were showing it on my baby shows and everything. it wouldn't be. I think independents would gain more power because it wouldn't just be, this big, powerful.
But you're intentionally complicating a simple process.
I don't think it's complicated.
No.
Yeah,
I don't think
you extend.
Now you depend on man-controlled algorithms as opposed to somebody just going and casting their vote.
Well, we never got too much faith in all the systems and that stuff's going to be done. And if we had the perfect system, we still got to watch Russia and make sure they don't mess with it.
So now you're going to increase the complexity because now you're going to depend on machines that are being programmed by individuals that control the algorithms, as opposed to me going and casting a vote. And the only risk you have there is somebody not physically counting my vote. But when you have algorithms, now you have increased probability of manipulation based on who's programming.
Pat,
Well,
could we hold that right there, what you're saying, for one second? Because it is true, but I'm just saying, let's get to the poll first. And then for sure, you have to speak on the algorithm and the security. That's his thing. But it would change how AD approaches me. AD and Dwayne, they running. Now they know that they both can end up on my ticket. They can't alienate me. They can't have a commercial with a shotgun and talking about, this police. They can't play politics as usual. Will politics come in? Yes. I'm not saying it won't, but I'm just saying when they both know that they can end up on my ticket, they're going to approach me differently. Republican Party make their commercials, their statements, and they just push their agendas, and they don't even consider me or worry about me. But now that they know they can end up on my ticket, even if they're my second choice, just like we saw on the display, the second choice has a chance to win. So they're both going to approach me differently. It would change campaigning for sure.
It will change campaigning, but
this is only for vote. This still doesn't address a runoff if needed. From what I've read and saw, this is what they use to get a majority. So if nobody gets a majority,
then it's an automatic runoff.
Right. And well, no, I wouldn't say it's an automatic runoff because
it is though, isn't it?
No, because runoffs are still there.
The process and I'm not saying no, D. I'm just asking for clarification. To my understanding, won't the process keep running? Won't we keep dropping off until somebody reaches 50+1?
Yeah. Right, but I'm just saying none of those things dictate a runoff. Remember, a runoff is when the vote is within X amount of a percent of a fraction of
50%.
But that's what I'm saying. They're going to run that until it is 50+.
The 50% is the winning threshold.
Right.
But that's still not runoff threshold. I'm pretty sure they're still going to have runoff rules in there because if you got look, here's why I say that. If you got 50%, right? So you get 50.4%. And I say you get 50.2% and I get 49.8% of the vote.
Right.
It's still gonna be a runoff. And you
right.
Vote because
you have to win by a certain margin.
Right.
Yes.
So
you went out, dude.
You went out. Your mute is playing with you.
The part that you're talking about now, E, is the first portion of it. And that's just to ensure somebody gets 50%. And you need 50% to win, unless, like old school, you get to a point where it's this close in,
right? And
by law, you're required to do a runoff. So then you have to vote again.
Just taking a step back, 1 second. Well, like I said, what Pastor said still holds true. America just needs to do a great job of securing us that reassuring us that we have a secure vote, right?
Right.
So trust of the process is his own thing. But just back on the campaigning for a second, independents gain ground. Any kind of other party gains ground. Like, because you get to campaign, you actually have a shot with this. You don't have to. I'm not trying to say like you still gonna have to campaign, you still gonna have to get the fundraisers, you still got to have dollars, you still got to get into the national press. I get that, right. But I'm saying some of these little runoff people we see that fall off in the primaries actually can have a shot, because now it's not just running for this one spot. Somebody is always trying to be the number one so they can receive the most votes. But I'm just saying, the twos, the threes, you trying to land. If you have 4 opportunities to land on my ticket, you're gonna campaign different. Thriller had 9 tracks on the album. All those producers trying to get on the album. Everybody wants to be a part, right? So right. Mike say, I got 9 spots for you to make history with me. So people bringing their best, they coming at Mike with all kind of stuff so that they can get on the album in the same way they would treat us. I just got to get on the album, and then I got a shot. I got a chance. For sure, campaigning changes forever.
I don't know if campaigning changes. Now the reality of can you win changes.
Yeah.
But campaigning is still what campaigning has always been. Where's your money? Which outlets can you tap into for the ads and in that aspect? But visibility, I think it forces you to vote. It forces you to put me in the conversation.
That's what I'm saying. Right.
Because now you can't just vote and leave me off the ticket.
And leave me out.
You at least got to rank me.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of people who like, you know what? I like Bernie, but this Johnson dude that's independent,
right?
He my dude. I know he ain't gonna win anyway, so I'm gonna vote for Bernie, but I'm gonna pencil him in as my second.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I'm not saying no more. I hate to say no more. It's still a world system.
Right.
But what I'm saying, it eliminates it helps to eliminate the what I'm trying to say, the lesser of two evils.
I think it opens up the canvas.
Trump, but I'll go with you know what I'm saying? So
what is going to remind me? What it reminds me of is a mini electoral college, electorate college. That's what it reminds me of.
Right, right. I think it'll just open up the playing field a little bit. And like anything, it's going to be a little clunky in the beginning. They have several states have done ranked choice voting. Let's see, there's 3 that have done.
There's only 2 Republican.
President, which is
Virginia and Utah.
Who pushed for this though? McCain pushed for this in 2002.
He did.
So he sees the benefit.
Right.
It'll really shake them up.
But McCain is a different kind of Republican.
Now that's true.
Because like literally, when I looked at when AD sent me the link and I went through looking, there was 2 Republican states that have embraced this. One of them is non-consequential, and that's Utah. Because it don't matter who runs in Utah. If you're not white and you're not Mormon, that 98.7% population demographic and whatever the Mormon demographic is, if you're not one of those 2, you're not winning Utah anyway.
Right.
And Virginia, I don't know. That was seem a little wild cardish.
Yeah, Virginia, both Republican and Democrats party used ranked choice voting in some party nominations in 2020. Georgia did use it for military and overseas voting. Adopted in 2021 will be used this in 2022. So,
Pastor, would you be down for it if they started it with smaller trials?
Well, no,
I go straight for the presidential.
I still feel like we're the greatest part of America is the freedom of choice. Mm-hmm. And when even in this case, you still have a freedom of choice, but you are taking the power of the choice and the validity of the choice. The closer we get to algorithms, the further we get away from our freedoms. That's the reality.
So,
because at the end of the day, I should be able to drop my vote in a box, trust the person counting it, and may the best candidate win. What we're talking about is now taking all these options and computerizing them, and depending on an algorithm that says, okay, 80% of the people chose this person as the second best candidate. You've got more counting to be done. The more sections or counting compartments that you have, the more confusion you create.
True.
The less
opportunity for confusion. Yes.
The more you increase the opportunity for problems. You have to keep it simplified and you have to have an integrity-based system. The problem is what should be a strong integrity, secure system has been corrupted by people.
Yes.
Right. And what I'm saying to you is, if I now increase the compartments, the buckets, I'm increasing the complexity and I'm creating more space for trouble.
That's what you're saying is absolutely true. But I'm saying the algorithm would be based off of choice. Two, I do agree. It will complex things, make things more complicated. But what I'm saying is that it's a whole separate thing. That the trust of the voting system is its own conversation. Which machine do we use? Is Dominion right or is Dominion wrong? Like, should I go here? Did they complicate voting? That I think that's its own conversation. What this does, in my opinion, is before we get to the box, it makes them come at us different. It's an attempt to break up this complex of these Washington people keeping each other in power. Not letting nobody new come into the game,
And I agree with
to
you.
get up there.
And I agree with you. Can I say one of the things where I think it really matters is during these national conventions between the Republicans and the Democrats, right? I think it should matter in those. I think it definitely should be adopted by the national conventions, because at the end of the day, whoever the Democratic Party gives us and whoever the Republican Party gives us are basically your candidates for president. I don't care who the third party guy is, who the independent party guy is, who the communist guy is, and everybody else. The Republican and the Democratic nominee, those are the only ones who really get serious presidential consideration anyway. So I think these conventions need to open up to that. So now at least the people have a say as in who this party's representative is going to be in that form.
Yeah. When I was in the 6th grade, if a little girl liked me, she would put 2 boxes. Right?
Yeah.
Do you like me? Yes.
Yes or no?
Maybe. Run off.
Right? What became troubling in middle school?
What's that?
Is when somebody put yes, no, and maybe.
That third choice?
Yeah.
Thank God for that third choice, man.
Yeah.
He got you in the game.
Maybe me.
But the third choice makes you lukewarm.
Right.
Yeah.
The third choice is conditional. Right? So do you want a conditional winner or an emphatic, deliberate, intentional, straight winner?
No, I love the setup.
We can't live in the box of maybe.
Look, I love the setup, Pastor. I love the setup. I love the setup. I love the delivery.
That was good.
Yeah.
But it's not. But this wouldn't be a maybe. This is like.
I gotta steal that, preacher.
Look, Pastor Brian McCrory is my dude.
Right.
That's who I'm voting for.
Right.
If something else happened to Brian, you got my vote.
Either or neither.
So if you don't get it, it's not a maybe.
Right. I think it at least opens it up. Oh gosh, here we go. As she says, like on Cheesecake Factory, there are too many food options, but they always highlight the main popular items. People always choose the popular items because there's too much to read.
Yeah.
Listen, we gotta open this up though, man.
It opens the opportunity for you to get on the menu though. Like that's kind of what we're getting at.
Look, being on the menu or not being on the menu.
Right.
Because if I'm on the menu, I got a chance to get it. Not just these.
Like we just went through this with Church of God in Christ. right?
Oh.
We just went through this huge quadrennial election, right?
Yeah.
And there were like, 9 bishops trying to get the presiding bishop seat
All right.
to replace Charles Blake. And it came down to 2.
Yeah.
Right. And one person won. Bishop Sheard won. And what I love about the whole process is during the entire campaign, Bishop Sheard never criticized Bishop Macklin
at all.
Bishop Macklin never criticized Bishop Sheard. Bishop Sheard had a plan, a strategy, a vision. Bishop Macklin had a plan, a strategy, a vision, and Bishop Sheard won. To your point, Ephraim, do something that makes sure we can play on the same team, regardless of who wins. When Bishop Sheard won, what did he do with Bishop Macklin? He made Bishop Macklin his first administrative assistant.
I'm so glad you said that. I'm asking a question when you're done.
Because they're on this ultimately they're all on the same team. We're all working for the kingdom.
All in the same game.
Right. The problem we have, the reason we're in this is because in order for me to believe I can win, I have to destroy you.
Right.
I have to attack your character.
Right.
I gotta tell people that you slept with your mama. I gotta do all these things.
Oh, wow, not mom.
And your policy.
Hey, listen. We had Sarah Palin talking about lipstick on a pig.
Right.
We had calling somebody ugly.
Yeah.
It
always gets it really gets nasty.
We had Hillary Clinton. You shame on you, Barack Obama. We had all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And that's the problem that we have.
Yeah.
We have to stick to the laws of morality.
Yeah.
Right? Because all we're doing is creating ways to overcomplicate things.
Right. Oh.
Right. I'm not confused about your strategy. You caught me when you talked about his taxes.
Yeah.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
We spent more time trying to analyze the negative comments, the deficits, right?
Right.
The stuff Brother Gibson, the stuff that created division. We spent more time on the divisive topics than we spent on actual strategies.
Right.
And so now we're in a place where we're like, man, I don't know who to vote for. Well, guess what? Let's make room for second best because I don't like the first 2 choices. You understand? If we get back to the foundational, fundamental things, this is really simple. It's really simple. And all I'm saying is, why would we increase the complexity of it when it really, when you want to talk about a trusted and secure election, that means you have to depend on the people that are actually counting the ballots. If you want, if you want to affect change, get rid of gerrymandering, get rid of district lines.
Yeah,
get rid of it altogether, because you can't tell me that the population of my county is 675,000 people.
Right.
400,000 of them are Democrats.
Right. All right.
You understand? And 200,000 are Republicans, and Republicans win.
Right.
Don't you think some new blood can get us back? I guess what I'm saying, President, everything I'm so agreeing with what you're saying, but what I'm saying is that any way. How did we get here? Is my question. Why are we trying to introduce new ways to vote?
Because of the tactics.
Because of corruption.
Yeah, and we got to circle back from that. And what you're saying is the right thing to do. But I don't think sitting them down with the Declaration of Independence talking about the 4 founders say we way off is going to happen. Trump could care. Not just the big ones, but a lot of them on both sides could care less. So I'm saying. I'm with it on the fact that it would complicate it, no doubt about that. And I don't know any way to talk around that. It would make things a little bit more complex, but I can't think of any other way to shake this thing up right now. I have to sit there and wait for the Democrats to tell me this is the one guy who's going to change this. That's what they do every 4 years.
Right.
This is the guy.
Let me read these comments real quick, and then I'm gonna throw something out at you guys. And Dwayne probably know where I'm going. I think the last election had some pretty decentish third party candidates, Team Yang Gang. but Trump and Biden were just louder. It is like McDonald's secret menu. If you know what you really want, you can pick it. If not, then you're stuck with the current menu. Not Mama Pastor pulling punches today. Said Pastor, the nation can't stand divided. Actually, it's not they were louder. They had more money to get voice across. Yep. Yes, indeed, Pastor saying something. That's simple wisdom right here. So let me ask you this, because it's been done before. Would we say we want to go back to the system of, you pick your president and then the second runner up becomes vice president?
Yeah.
Because it's happened. We've done it. I'm not sure. I got to look up. I don't know why. Maybe Dwayne knows why they got rid of it. But what do you guys think?
The views would be too opposing.
I think if you've earned the right to become president, you've earned the right to pick your VP.
Yeah, and you want to pick somebody who's going to help you choose. Help you push your.
You want a confidant.
Can you imagine Donald Trump being the vice president for Joe Biden?
Can you most viral vice president of all time?
Boy, I think we could get.
But I think it
every other day.
I mean,
Donald on the phone. I can't believe you said this.
I think. Get rid of them. What about who was it? Barack Obama and John McCain.
It would work, but even what Pastor was saying earlier, with the example he gave with Bishop Sheard, he chose Bishop Macklin because he chose him. When we elected Sheard,
right,
it was his right to choose within the Constitution. He had to choose a bishop, but it was in his. He had to choose a bishop from the general board, but it was his right to choose whoever he thought. I thought in wisdom he picked the person he picked for first and for second.
Right.
A lot of people had questions on the second, but I think the second person he picked was a statement. So you get to look at him in a certain light based off of who he chooses. So I think something that forced him to take on, almost like taking your little brother to the store, like you know what I was gonna do. Now I got to pedal him on my bike. I was trying to look cool. Forcing him to do it that way might mess up his game plan.
Right.
But are you saying it like so that all America doesn't feel left out of the process?
Right.
Like if my guy loses,
right, the second choice gets in. Because I mean, even if you think about the stance of even Barack Obama and Romney, Obama, McCain, they were kind of like they were almost like centrist. You know what I'm saying? They were conservatives, kind of centrist. They weren't as hardcore. Think about how it has an opportunity to unite America. I mean, I know. If we talk about DJ, it's a whole nother conversation. But if you think about everybody prior to, I think it creates a better area, a better congeal. And granted, they're not going to agree on everything, but at least if Barack and Romney sat alone and agreed on something, he can come out and speak for one side, and then Romney can come out and quell the other side. Like,
I'm asking constitutionally, can they do that? I know they can pick.
Yeah, it's been done.
No,
but like, can I pick a running mate that's in another party? I mean,
yes, you can.
You can. That's the lines of the Democrats and Republicans. They just don't cross that line because it becomes ugly. Because think about it. Think about it. Vice president got tiebreaker ability, right?
Yeah.
What if you tell your boss, go stick a? I'm voting with those guys. Don't like you already. I mean,
that can be tough.
So
but it can also be fair and balanced.
Right. Because then you get, it's kind of like you got the opinion of all of America in the office. So instead of one party running everything and driving us crazy, or one party running everything and we're getting all we want, then we have an opportunity to have a healthy debate between two people in a space where nobody sees. And
then 4 years later, you can't blame the other party talking about
nothing done. You get a lot more done, or you get nothing.
Right. Right. I mean, I think that'll be. I mean, I get what Jason was saying. It could come down. It could be okay with that, but assassination could come into play. But if then they have to choose, say they have to choose the independent, well, you was number 3, you get the vice president spot. Now we got Yang running as VP. So I believe that will make us balance. That will balance us out. And I get it. I know complicating the voting now with just a 2-party system or just one and done is already becoming a fight, and the politicians are making it a fight as well. You know, they're stirring up the pot as much as they can, especially when they're losing. But I think we need to do something.
I don't think that's balanced though. I think that's like giving an honorable mention to the fourth place to the fourth place loser.
Everybody get a trophy.
Yeah, that's I don't know how much balance I'm gonna cut. Now I understand it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you asking for trouble.
And the fact that we got to bring it up lets you know how messed up things are. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, but you know, something definitely got to change. But I can't find a way to defend that against the integrity piece. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because the integrity is already shaky. So yeah, no doubt, adding something else. So I'm for it.
Right.
I'm interested. I would like to try it on like how they're doing on certain state levels.
Right.
The article even talked about how they tried it in college. You know, like I like to do some experiments, some tests.
Right.
But I don't know when to introduce it. But now is not the time. We already don't trust.
I mean, it seems like
money from Russia
consider
for
this.
messing with us.
Consider this point. My daughter, I'm sorry, y'all. My daughter sent me something that just blew my mind. She
like in
hired
Georgia
for a job, and instead of giving her the pay that they offered her, she looked at her paycheck and they were paying her minimum wage. Yes. I'm about to go get my
some furniture moving.
She needs us.
I'm right. It could be
the protest
questions. You know, they'll be messing with my baby money now.
Right.
You mess with her money, you used to messing with my money.
Yeah.
In my pocket. So the point I was trying to make is the concept of bipartisan president and vice president leads to, if your party thought that you would appoint the opposing party as your vice president, you'd never make it to the DNC or the RNC. If the Democratic Party thought there was a chance that Barack Obama would choose John McCain as his vice president, Barack Obama would have never gotten the nomination from the Democratic Party. They'll stop you then. That's what happens. They just go further down the line to prevent you from accomplishing your goal, which is why we have a problem with gerrymandering now. The reason Donald Trump was able to win the presidency is because when Barack Obama won the presidency, they started redrawing district lines.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why Hillary Clinton got the popular vote, but
Right.
Trump got the presidency
Right. Right.
because of the Electoral College.
Right. Right.
He didn't get the most votes. He just got the most delegates.
Right. Right.
And what I'm saying is that's how they play the game. That's what they're doing right now. That's why they're instituting all of these laws and they're trying to restructure, the voting laws and all that kind of stuff right now because they lost. That's why the Democrats are now trying to put together a package that extends or expands the Supreme Court, right? Because Ruth Bader Ginsburg did, because she didn't retire. Barack Obama didn't have an opportunity. They're calling Donald Trump one of the most productive presidents because he appointed 3 judges to the Supreme Court.
Right.
They're literally calling him the most productive. And the reality is Barack Obama never had a chance.
Right.
Yep.
He got shut
So
down.
now the Supreme Court is 6-3.
Right.
And Republicans are saying that's fair and impartial. Now they're calling now they're saying the Democrats are trying to stuff the court.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Because now they want to appoint 13 as opposed to 9.
Right.
And so what I'm saying is that's the back and forth constantly. Right. So whatever you come up with, what happens is people just go back to the drawing board and is okay, well, How can we get them in the next 4 years? Or maybe it might take 8 years, but let's start this now so that 8 years from now, we'll have more leverage.
I mean,
And what I'm saying is that's the dirt. That's the filth of politics. Right.
Right.
And my point is our problem. And this is why I said, what can we do? We do what we're doing right now. Y'all know yesterday I said, man, I got to get louder. I got to get louder. Mm-hmm. And I was talking to the Lord about this, man. Yesterday, Bob, I was in a tough spot yesterday. I was in a dark place, really, spiritually, emotionally. And I talked to the Lord and I'm like, Lord, this is crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. And the Lord said, yeah, it's about as crazy as me hardening Pharaoh's heart, isn't it? Mm. Isn't it? Like I sent you to someone and I'm letting you know they're going to tell you no before you get there.
Right.
Right. Mm-hmm. Well, Lord, and I felt like Moses. I'm like, well, what do you want? And the Lord says, go back and tell him this. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to harden his heart. He's going to tell you no. It's painful. It's increasingly painful, which is what we're going through. And yet we continue to fight. And we're saying, Lord, what? And the Lord says, keep fighting. Their heart is hardened. You keep fighting. Lord, I want to fight differently. No, you do what I say do. And I'm like, well, Lord, how can I get louder? And the Lord says, well, you can holler if you want to. I hope y'all can understand what I'm saying here. If you believe that God is in control, mm-hmm. if you believe that God saw the election, if you believe that God saw what happened with George Floyd or with Dante or with anybody, if you believe that he saw all of that, if you believe that he saw Trayvon Martin,
right?
If you believe that he saw Michael Brown, if you believe that he saw all of these things happen, if you believe that he saw what happened in Virginia, if you believe all of those things, the question is, Lord, why do you continue to let this happen? Why can't I want to do something? I want to fight differently. And the Lord says, no, you do what I've instructed you to do. I'm saying all that to say this. Yesterday, I was saying, Lord, I want to do something. I want to make them as frustrated as I am. And the Lord said, you can't tell that they're ticked off? Aren't they killing y'all in the streets? You are making a difference. Mm. You are ticking them off. Yeah. They're losing their minds trying to win something that they'll never win. You don't feel like you're winning because you're stuck in this little battle and you have forgotten the war. So the Lord said, I don't need you to go do anything different. I need you to keep doing what you've been doing. And remember that all things work together.
Yeah.
You're trying to win something here, and I'm looking at the eternal. You're trying to play the short game, and somebody just said this when we first started, but there's a long game at play.
All right.
So when we talk about what can I do, that's for the people who are doing nothing. That's not for the people. And then I started. Okay, well, I preach the gospel. I teach Bible study. I mentor young people. I try to educate grown folks. I talk to ministers. I talk to politicians, to law enforcement individuals. I interview people. I do this. I'm part of the Reconcile movement. And the Lord's like, yeah, all that stuff you're doing, and you're asking, what more can you do? I'm so proud of you. That's exactly what I want. I want people like you out there saying, what more can I do? Right. Because that's the heart that I'm looking for. Right. You're not, when you have that kind of mindset, how can you ever feel like you're losing?
Yeah. And I'm glad you said, what more can I do? Because I don't want anybody, and maybe this is an ideological difference between me and other people, but I believe that God is in control of everything. However, there's a however semicolon there. God will never do anything that you don't invite him into, that you don't make him a part of. I can't believe that God is going to heal me and I don't have any faith. I can't believe that God is going to move on our behalf. And when we're supposed to be moving and going to this Pharaoh or going to this place and doing what we're supposed to do, it don't get done. God is in control. However, remember, he gave you, he gave me, he gave us dominion in the earth. So when we want something done in the earth, that comes from us. You want to know why there's killers out here that are racist still? Because they disregard the law of God. Because that's what they do. They don't embrace God's law. They don't embrace godly principles. That's why it happens. Because an evil person is I don't like these darkies over here. Yep. Let me go get on the police force. I'm gonna clip one here and clip one there. That's why it happens. Why do babies get raped? Is it because God don't love us? No, it's because we've invited sickness and depravity in. So yes, God is in control. However, God is in control because we allow him into our space. And sounds sacrilegious to some of you. But what you got to remember is this. You are a free will agent. God ain't going to force his will on you. It's your choice. Pharaoh, you can say no. You can have a hardened heart and say no. But guess what? The way you deal it is the measure that you deal it is the measure that you're going to receive.
But so, I'll say this, though, because here's the thing. God doesn't force, but God will solidify you in where you are.
Right.
Expound on that. Because
Pharaoh was against God. He rejected God. He rejected Moses, thereby rejecting God. Mm-hmm. You understand? And so what God says is, because you so hard-headed, I'm going to solidify you in your hard-headed behavior. Because God said, I'm going to harden his heart. In other words, whatever disposition you find yourself in that is unlike God, be very careful, because you could find yourself stuck there.
Reprobate,
right? Because God gives you opportunity after opportunity to change your ways. And what God is saying is, okay, you just don't want to change. Okay, then I will just solidify you in that space, and now you can't get out.
Jesus.
But you will acknowledge that I am God. Remember, Pharaoh and his magicians did finally acknowledge God. This is the hand of God. And they acknowledged his hand during the plague season and still went the other way. Right. So when you say, so I was trying to follow you when you say God is God, however, because like personally, there is no however. God is God, period.
Right.
You understand? But there's no God is God, but God is God, however, God is God, although no, God is God, period.
True. This is what I'm saying. The however doesn't have anything to do with God. It has everything to do with the way God does his business. And when God lays a plan out, and when he gives instruction, when he gives principles, those are the things that he executes. So if God tells you walk into the left is going to send you to hell, and walking to the right is going to send you to heaven, I'm just throwing out a scenario. If you walk to the right, because he's already made it law, because he's already made it principle, what happens. Here's a better one. The fact that I say that God is in control means absolutely nothing if I'm not walking out what his will is. I can say God is in control, and I can say everything's going to be all right all day long. But if I'm over here sleeping with this man's wife, selling dope and shooting up over here, and then coming back over here, coming home to my family, and I'm saying, God, okay, but I'm living like hell.
Right.
God, if I'm saying God is in control and I'm living like hell in my personal space, and everything in my personal space is messed up, it's not because God is not in control. It's because the dominion and the authority that God gave me in this earth, I've lived a different way. So when I throw that however in there, all I'm saying is the word of God is going to be true.
Right.
Regardless of what I say or what I believe, the word of God is going to be true,
Yes.
which
Right.
is an extension of God. So
Yes.
the
All right.
only reason I said that the way I said it is because some people believe that no matter what they do, no matter what they say, the best that God has for us is going to be what we walk in.
Right.
No, it's not going to happen that way. I can't live like hell and expect heaven. You got to match some of that stuff up. So yes, God is absolutely in control. However, in the minds of those who don't know God the way he designed our relationship to be, for you, just because you say God is in control don't mean that everything's going to be peaches and cream in your life.
Right.
No, you still got to live out these principles. You
Right.
still got to do it the way God said do it, or it doesn't
He's in
work.
control. He just ain't in control of you. That's what you're saying.
Facts. That's
Right.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
So we do understand that as believers that God's in control. We do understand that we are responsible for our space as well as the dominion God has given us. So we do have a responsibility. We do take care of our households. You know, I want to kind of just encourage everybody to look outside your household. You know, as well as you're taking care of your own, look outside as your community. Understand what needs to happen and needs to change, right? And I started off with the voting system just to basically open up a conversation about different ways to elect our officials, because our local officials have a lot of control over what happens in our daily and our local living. You know, we know God is in control, but they have control over like the taxes and things like that. You know, Caesar. So we want to make sure that we are putting the right Caesar in place, right? And we talk about police brutality. There's never, I don't think there'll ever be 100% police brutality because people are people. But at the same time, like we spoke about yesterday, voting in the right mayor, who votes in the right chief, who sets the tone for how the police reacts and responds. Like here in Atlanta, you know, Mayor Keisha, you know, Keisha Lance Bottom. I want to make sure I call her whole name. She, you know, the situation in Atlanta, she jumped right on it. Why? Because she's mayor. This ain't going down. Chief police, handle that, or you won't have a job. You know, so we got to have those in place that won't let those things happen. Even the situation in South Carolina with the gentleman, you know, when things like that happen, the mayor sees it, the chief police sees it, they're on it. There's no question. Wrong is wrong. And we spoke about that during the course of the week. Wrong is wrong. And the response to wrong should be the response to wrong. There should be no, you know, it is what it is. And that response should be correct. But our power, where we start, you know, we pray. We know what God has for us. We know what God, how he protects us, protects our household, you know, and we continue to pray. We continue to focus. We need to begin to vote. We need to understand what's happening in our community. My goal here, he says, sorry, so silly, Cole. What happens? My plan here is for you guys to just be aware. You know, the 5%ers and sometimes the Nation of Islam talk about the third eye, opening up the third eye. So you're focused. You know what's happening. You know, you're aware of your surroundings. You're aware of what's happening in your life. I want you guys just to be vigilant. You know, we don't have to be violent. We can be vigilant. You know, sometimes emotions. Listen, I can't imagine, huh?
Sometimes God is with the violence.
Right.
I just want to throw that out there because the moment a black man, especially, put Christ and violence in the same sentence, we can look like, oh, look,
right.
You tell me it's Old Testament. Okay, cool. It doesn't matter because God is the same yesterday, today, and forever. But tell me it's the Old Testament, and I'll be like, okay, cool. But I remember the time where King Saul was given instruction by Prophet Samuel to kill everything living. Don't leave anything. Not a woman, not an animal.
Right.
And they saved some stuff. And that's where the whole is better to obey than sacrifice come in at. I think it's 1 Samuel 16. But I just want to throw it out there. God is not opposed to violence. I mean, it's been direction sometimes. So in our where we are right now, it's a funky space because you feel funny when you say, well, maybe I should go out there and go upside a police head that's going upside these young people who ain't doing nothing peacefully. And then you sit back and be like, well, that's not the guy that think. No, hold on. Sometimes you got to be able to break this thing apart and put line upon line, precept upon precept. There's a time for peace. There's a time for war. There's a time to have a pruning shear. There's a time to turn that thing into a sword. And that's biblical. I don't think everybody that should be the first thing. I think you definitely should seek God and hear from the Holy Spirit and get confirmation.
I mean,
don't just throw it out.
Wait, real quick, AD. I'm sorry. I missed the beginning of that. I had to step away. What were you where did you come from?
No, I just said I think we also have to
no, in terms of you said God says there's a time to fight or get what
he was talking about Saul.
No. Yeah, I was talking about Saul when Samuel gave him instruction from God to kill everything, and he left the animals and the women. I'm just saying there is a side of God that's not okay. Allow me to go out and fight. There's a side of God that sends his people out to fight. I mean, the Israelites were fighters. Why? Because they had a promise and they had to get the promise. The promise isn't going to be given to you sometimes. And I don't want to come off as sounding like the typical Hebrew Israelite because I understand how they sound. That's not my heart. That's not who I am. I mean, but there is a time and a place for everything, and God has given instructions numerous times throughout. So,
I mean, I'm gonna say this for Brothers of Legacy. If I was like,
of God and not the Brothers of Legacy,
if my son or it was me, and we were in South Carolina, and he pushed me, and you popped him, defense, defense. I am no way saying take up your arms and head to the Capitol. I believe, God is definitely in control. God is, always instructing, but there are laws. So be mindful of that as well.
You saw Willett?
I swear I made you. It is Friday. Yeah, there are laws, but when laws violate the laws of God, how are you gonna, as a man, how do you see that law? Is that? I mean, I think when people they get that part twisted when it comes when it comes to giving Caesar what's Caesar and obeying the laws of the land.
Right.
Yes, those indeed. Things are all good and dandy until it violates the law of God.
Right.
I don't throw at me. Well, this is the law of America. If it's blatant violation of God's law. I mean, I'm not the person to go burn somebody's house down.
Right.
But don't play me like some fool, like some intellectual fool either. That is not saying you.
No, I got you. I got you.
But that's generally if somebody takes this stance. That's generally.
I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I promise.
Why you doing
I
like
didn't
that?
do it, guys. I didn't.
Which one of y'all doing like that?
I promise I didn't do it.
My boy was just trying to come from the Bible.
Yeah. So Willett asked me, have you guys talked about qualified immunity yet? Was that part of George Floyd's act? No, we haven't spoke about it. I know in New York, I think they have gotten rid of qualified immunity where they can be prosecuted as citizens. Don't take me for some intellectual fool. So it's we haven't spoken about that yet. No, not yet. We'll definitely dig into that. But yeah, it's like I said, it's be vigilant. Know what's happening in your community. Because your community affects you more than anything. Nationally, yes, the laws make a difference. So. Not saying never vote for president again, but locally, you need to know what's going on.
You feel locally quicker. Yeah. You'll feel the president like 4, 5, 6 years later. You're going to feel that mail like, tomorrow.
I don't know. Listen, but nationally, when he be like, yo, everybody getting the check, you usually get that joker.
No doubt. I mean, the president a big deal. He, and he make a dumb decision. We in nuclear war, but I'm just saying.
And on the other end, when Trump was like, with the immigration, listen, I had folks like, man, I'm nervous. Like, I don't want to go anywhere outside of my job. Just go job because I don't know what's going on. I need to survive until someone changes the law back. I see everybody outraged. They need to get with the Supreme Court. Like, because once he writes it, it's like I'm in trouble until someone makes something, changes the law back. So it does affect us, but it's a different way. So just know who you're voting for locally. Like I will recommend connecting with your election board locally. And like Pastor said, and I'm with you, Pastor, they need to get rid of the district lines. They need to get rid of it. They need to definitely get rid of it. Just get rid of it. just get rid of it. And we just, was it like sometimes we want something till they figure out a new strategy, like, okay, bring the district lines back. Bring them back. bring it back. And then they tricked us again. They got us again. Like, I thought we were good. Oh, Ashley said a huge tangent subject, but are you guys going to talk about how the podcast roommates have taken the spot of Derek Jackson? Really? All right. If y'all haven't seen it, I don't want to prop it up. Yeah, I've been getting it in my timeline because I think I went to one of their YouTubes. But
I put Derek Jackson on timeout.
He said what? Derek Jackson on timeout?
Yeah, he on timeout.
Yeah, he'll be back. He'll be back. Well, actually, he's been slowly. He's been trying to bust his videos out. They may not be getting the same views, or they might be. People just put. I want him
to get on this consecration with us.
Right.
Yeah, that's what he needs.
Definitely. Mm-hmm. All right. So today the action is to be vigilant. Make sure you are registered. Make sure you are registered, because some states, you come too close to the election, you will not be able to vote in that next election. So make sure you are registered. If you have friends and family that aren't registered and they don't want to vote, send them to us. We'll tell them why they should be voting. Because like I said before, it's not just about people. It's about certain laws. They throw it at the bottom of the voting block to vote for money, go in certain places. And trust me, you want to know what's on the ballot, because nothing worse than you looking at it like, should I vote for this money? I think we need it. Or is this going someplace else that we're not going to profit from or benefit from? So know where your money's going. So definitely vote. I know sometimes you don't like the people. And unfortunately, because of the system, you're voting for the lesser two evils sometimes. Just choose. At least you don't get the dude that you really, really don't like. So vote and vote for the laws that make a difference in your community. Make a difference. All right. Oh, you have the pollen.
I can't help it today, man. I can't. No, like real talk. I can't, because Pastor, you said you was in the space yesterday. I've been in the space for a long time. I've gone to war for this country, right? I've literally put my life on the line 46 months on foreign soil with people who don't believe the same way I believe, who would kill me rather than this is my gift to the country. I ain't asking for nobody to feel any way about that. I'm just saying I've lived that for this country, for beliefs that I don't even support. Not all of them. Most of them, yeah, but not all of them. And then I sit back and ask myself, would I have done anything if George Floyd was being choked or killed in front of me? Would I have done anything if Alton Sterling or Trayvon or Tim? Like, I don't. This is me as a Christian. This is not even me as in any other light. Because I promise you, people do what they get away with. Like my kids. My daughter, she will come in the room and she will go into my little candy stash until I get a belt. And only because she know what a belt feels like. But before that, she's, don't get it. I'm gonna get you. She's laughing at me. And then she's running away. But if I get her one good time, she gonna think twice about it the next time. Do you think these cops, and this again, this is my feelings. This is not the Brothers of Legacy's feelings. Although I believe that my feelings are super legit. I
I'm surprised you feel that way.
I am in the space where I don't want no punks around me. And I ain't saying that means you got to be violent. No, I'm not saying that means you got to be in the streets. No, because ain't none of these gentlemen on this stage punks. Like, but I ain't want no punks around me because punks make excuses. I tell myself, you can't make any punk excuses. Punks make excuses. You know why people kill us every day in the streets? Part of the reason is we allow them to. There ain't no real get back. And I ain't talking about revengeance when I say get back. That ain't what I'm talking about. I'm talking about I'm not gonna let you do that man dirty in these streets for what you perceive to be a crime. How many people watch? How many people literally watch George Floyd take his last breath? Right. How many people saw that man, but because a cop had a gun,
right?
We don't. What do we do?
Right. I mean, all right. Can we keep it real? I mean, like,
yeah,
if we
nobody want to die. Nobody want to die.
If we standing around, like, somebody gotta get shot. Somebody gotta take the hit. Let's keep it 100. I need you to rush.
Oh,
then
you're
I'm right
training
behind you.
Denzel training this stuff now. Yo, man, you're gonna have to take a hit.
Right. You gonna have to take this hit. I'm saying, because once the first person step, I'm pretty sure that right the way you're trained to draw that gun. Like, oh man, they looking like they stepping close. Boom, the gun's out. So someone is gonna have to take the shot, or at least in the arm, in the chest, somewhere.
And here's the thing, I'm not trying to start civil disrest. That's not what I'm trying to start. But I promise you, the first person that the first person. Hey, this for you, E. This for you.
Hey, E. You the baby of the bunch, man. So you know you got more time. You got more time to heal, bro. You got more time to heal.
Hey, look, you one of the wild.
You gonna bounce
one of the wild Florida cats anyway. You know you one of them old wild Florida cats anyway.
You gotta take a bullet. You gotta take a bullet.
But I promise you, if policemen who weren't not doing their jobs, mm-hmm. who have ulterior motives when it comes to different races or mm-hmm. different sexes, if those people understand that there's repercussions that comes a whole lot sooner than a courtroom, they'll change the way they act.
I mean, all right. So what do you mean? Like, you talking about on the streets?
Punch a bully in the face when you see a bully being a bully.
So if they felt threatened, do you think they would stop with something?
Not even threatened.
I mean, they have to feel, or they become fear, because what happens?
What I'm saying is not even pertaining to them. Right. Is when they do wrong.
Right.
If they were corrected, not just, hey, sir, you can't do that. I see you doing it. I'm gonna put you in a choke move until your backup come, and I'm gonna be on the phone with 911 telling them what I'm doing. Right. So if I have to go, I don't want to be no mortar, but if I have to go, at least there's an account of why I went.
I got
you. You was over here choking this man in handcuffs who was already apprehended, who was already incapacitated, who was already a non-threat, and we watched you for 8 minutes and 36 seconds abuse authority. People are afraid that the system is gonna buck on them and every other cop, and this goes to them too. If you're a police officer who can watch somebody do this and you're not one of the rotten apples, to hell with you.
Right. I hate you.
Because you are just as much a part of the problem as the one that did it. I understand that there's some admiration for the higher ranking people. I understand that when you're out there doing your job and your person who was training you how to do this job and been doing it for 12 years and you fresh out the academy and they tell you to get his feet. I understand the eagerness to want to go get his feet because that's what boss said.
Right.
You are a grown man. You are a grown woman. You know what right feels like. You know what wrong feels like.
Right.
I'm tired. I'm tired for different reasons. I'm tired that it's still happening. Right. I bumped the court. The courts hasn't given us justice since 1621.
Yeah, but you're going back to you're speaking to a problem that is not designed for us to fix.
Right. That's what you're
saying. So And we're here today because of systemic breakdown, a breakdown of the system, right? So the question becomes, how foolish would I be to go try to attack a police officer for doing wrong when the system is designed to kill me?
Right.
You understand? I just had this conversation with my mother the other day. I was telling my mother, she was like, no, son, you're a father and a grandfather. You still raising babies. You're raising grandchildren. Not literally, but I got, listen, I moved my daughter to Georgia so that I could get closer to my grandsons.
Wow.
Because that's the only confidence I have.
Right.
That they're going to get what they need.
Right.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like the fathers know.
Right.
But I'm looking at them and I'm saying, wait, whoa, this is not going to work. This comes from visitation, them visiting. And I'm like, no, wait, this is not working. I don't like the way this is turning out.
Right.
And if you're not married, then there's a missing component in your house.
Right. Right.
You understand? And so we talk. So what I'm saying is, we talk about how we have to raise our children and all that. We're raising our children up in a broken system, right? You say, I don't want any cowards around me. I agree with you. I don't want any cowards around me.
Right.
That means that if somebody's coming at me, y'all better have my back.
Right.
Because if I survive, I'm gonna come see you.
Yeah, real talk.
You understand? Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right. But I'm not getting ready to go fight the police.
Right.
I'm not getting ready to do that. Why? Because I already know they have more guns. And it would be unsmart of me. I've got to come at that a different way.
Right.
I'm not. What I'm saying is, see, and here's the thing. When I look at what happened with George Floyd, I'm not mad at those people standing around with the cameras on. I can't get mad at them.
I'm not mad because I know what they felt.
Right. Because I'm like, that person said, you know what, I don't like what's going on, but I don't want to die today.
Fear. Right. And that's what I'm saying. Okay, so let me give you a different scenario. 14-year-old girl, grown man, Texas police officer. What you doing at the pool? You gonna let a man handle that 14-year-old kid?
What you
gonna let a body slam? Yeah, you gonna let that police officer body slam a 14-year-old girl at a swimming pool? I mean,
that battle. Listen to me now. Hear me now, because what I do there, I'm trying to figure out where your daddy at, because that'll never be my child at 14 years old. You too far away from me.
Right.
So what I'm saying is, I've got to do things to not put my children in position to be handled like that.
Right. That's true. But at the same time,
because I know the system. Listen, my daughter is 18 years old, bro. Been driving for a couple of years now. Okay. I get a text. I'm in the car getting ready to leave. I get another text. I've made it to my destination. I get another text. I'm getting back in the car. I get another text. I've just pulled up at home. You check in with me.
Right.
I want to know. I want to know why. Because
even with that, which is great, you still can't control every
But hear my point. But I'm giving her a better chance.
Right.
Because I'm checking in.
Yeah.
Because I know what's going on.
And I get that, but you said a better chance, which means that there's still opportunity. She at school. What happens if a school resource officer did the same thing? And you already know who your baby girl is. But what happens when a school resource officer do that? You can't be at school. All I'm saying is
no. Let me answer that. Let's stop right there. Let me answer that. What I know is that my children have been raised to take down early. You don't have to debate with grown folks. Let them have it. And then bring the argument to me.
Right.
See, I don't believe that my children are going to be in a situation where they're talking back to people in authority. They're not going to do that because that's my job. So if you put your hands on my child, it's going to be because there's something mentally wrong with you, because she's not going to give you any reason. I know that happens all the time, but when I look at all this stuff, I'm the kind of guy to be like, you know what? He shouldn't have done that. But at the same time, I'm saying you should have kept your mouth closed. You may feel bad about me telling somebody to keep their mouth. Well, I got a right to talk. Yeah, you got a right to. All things are lawful, but not all things are not.
I mean, right? Because I'm with you on that. So if you talk about that situation, you know, when she started, I'm like, look, you know, young lady, stop. Just do what he asked. We're here.
And you are right. You are right. But let's be 100 here. Can we be 100?
Yeah.
There's nothing. If we talk about what a 16 or 14-year-old shouldn't have been doing,
right?
Shouldn't that even speak more volumes for a grown, mature person how they should react in that same situation? So all I'm saying is she could have did everything wrong in the world.
Right.
When I pulled, the smallest woman I pulled over, she was like 14, and she might have been 100 pounds. She might have been, but she had a mouth on her from. I'm talking about like backwood trailer park, living with her brother type mouth. And right. She was talking smack to me all day. And I was like, you ain't even a warm up in a workout.
Right.
I ain't let it get to me, but there's people who don't. I guess all I'm trying to say is I ain't making no excuses for all the reasons why somebody could tee off on us. Because those reasons exist and they've been existing. Oh, you should have shut your mouth here. You should have complied there. Maybe you should have waited till an adult got here. All those things are absolutely true.
I got what you're saying. I mean, I know if you see it in front of you, the reaction. Like if I didn't have a chance to see the situation before it started and try to help intervene before it got to her being slammed on the concrete, would I intervene? Would I jump in?
My question is, what makes anything that they did up to that point, does it deserve that action? Now, if George was throwing a fair one with the cop, if he's shooting a fade at the cop, okay, you got to get your issue. Right. Get it how you live. You want to throw hands? Go ahead, throw them hands.
Right.
But you in handcuffs, it's like fear shouldn't even be a part of our vocabulary. And what keeps us from doing most things is fear. Black men and women. Fear is the thing that keeps us from moving, and whichever direction we're going, it's usually fear is the obstacle in front of us.
Yeah, but still, but to your earlier, all I'm saying, I'm going back to your statement about,
right?
You know, the cowardly actions. I want to make sure we understand what's considered cowardly,
right?
Versus,
gotcha. No, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Clarify that. Yeah, no, absolutely.
Right. That's all I'm saying, because you know, being a hero does not being a hero does not equate to getting killed.
Right. No.
Right. That's all I'm saying. I mean, I talk a lot of mess, but I'm saying that the reality for me is, you know, because I don't keep it anything but 100. For me,
big facts.
If it's my daughter getting swung around, I'm going to die today. Right. But that's because it's my daughter, and I'm going to hold myself accountable for putting her in a position. Or allowing her to be in a position. Maybe I didn't put her in that position, but the reality is, I know what I put into my children.
Right.
So it's not going to be my children, and if it is, something is very wrong. And my point is, that's going to be my fight. And then I'm going to look for people who love me and support and respect me to be in the fight with me. But I don't expect anybody.
Right.
I don't expect anybody to go further than I'm going to go for mine. I'm not going to ask Dwayne Goodson, Ephraim Terrell, Anthony Walker, Terry Little. I'm not asking anybody to go further than I'm going to go for mine. Right. That's so because that doesn't make you a coward. That makes you wise.
Right.
You understand? And so that just means I got to make sure I'm there to give an account of what I saw. Right. I want to make sure I hold people accountable for their actions. You know, but I'm not going to die today for you when I still got mouths to feed who depend on me every day at home.
Yes, it's a tough situation. I mean, because you know we don't want to watch it, but at the same time we have to use wisdom.
Right. And that's why you have. And so what you have to do is make sure that you're handling your business at home.
Yeah,
we can't stop things from happening, but we can reduce the risk of it happening to one of ours.
Handling business.
That's being a champion.
Yeah, definitely. Preparing yours to go out. you know, and the deal. I mean, and yes, we know compliance don't always mean they're going to get out alive.
Right.
Right.
And we don't, and I hate it. And honestly, like, and
It's a lose-lose.
I know you hate hearing it, but it goes back to handling your business politically. It's knowing who's running what, you know, who's holding who accountable, you know, because it's about your DA, it's about your mayor, it's about your chief of police. These are the three folks that run your local spot. Yep. So when something goes, because it's keeping 100. If you're connected and something happens, yeah, they're gonna get it. They're gonna get the book thrown at them because that's my man. You know, like, so this they can do it. It can be done. Mm-hmm. You know, police accountability has to increase. You know, when they go to, you know, and we see video. It doesn't mean. I was watching the Saturday Night Live. They were like, yeah, you know, the white people were like, yeah, we see all this. There's a conviction. They're like, well, you know, and it should be.
Look, Ashley put a comment out there. She's all I'm saying is I'm never going to watch someone get killed in front of me, you know. And I would challenge Ashley, right?
Yeah.
How many children do you have at home?
Right.
I get you. If it's just me,
yeah,
and I got nobody waiting on me at home,
yeah,
I may not feel the way that I feel because, well, no, I've had children a long time. I was gonna say because when I was 25, but
you're not thinking. Your first thought is your family. Your first thought is your family.
Right. My first thought is gonna be my family. Right. Yeah. I gotta get home, and so everybody's not gonna think like that. Right. But I would challenge anybody that is absolutely taking care of their family at home. Right. You tell me that you're going to take that kind of risk when you know people are depending on you at home.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, I get in trouble all the time. Like I get in trouble all the time. My wife, baby, mind your business.
Oh, I do.
God didn't make me that way.
You got something to lose. You got your life to lose.
Right. You got your life and your legacy. But to your point, Dwayne, right? I get in trouble I'm always skating the edge. I'm always on my wife. My wife, like, you need to stop, leave, because I'm not going to be quiet. I'm just, if I don't like what's going on, I'm going to say something. I'm that dude. I'm gonna say something.
And it gets me in trouble sometimes.
I stay in trouble
with my wife more than anybody else. And yes, Richard, they can. That look, I promise you, this part of this is me venting, and then part of this is I really. Look, being a soldier and seeing how stuff happens, you get a different person. Your personality changes. Because if I was never a soldier, I wouldn't have realized that some people gotta die. Look, some people in war, some people gotta die.
Bro, you listen. I've talked too much today. Listen, there is a term in combat. It's called killed by friendly fire. It's called friendly fire.
Right.
Fratricide.
And so it does happen. Sometimes the first person you got to get rid of is one of the folks on your own team.
Wow.
That's what's scary, right? When you talk about, I don't want any cowards around me, bro. I think I made this confession before. Outlaw Motorcycle Club, Outcast. Mm-hmm. Being a member of Outcast, riding with some outlaws, with some 1%ers. And I've seen this play out. Like if it ever goes down, I can't trust this dude's heart. Right. I ain't pointing at you, Terrell.
y'all coming from me today, man.
that dude right there. That dude right there.
Right. Yo, all y'all on my team. Right. But I've learned, like, when I was in that club, man, if they had to make a move, if they really had to go do some business, there were certain people in the club you couldn't tell.
Wow.
You understand? The goons, they had to call it the goon squad. The goon squad a lot of times made moves, and there are people in the club that didn't even know the moves were being made.
Wow.
You wear the colors, but you ain't bleeding this thing.
Wow.
Right? And it was a problem for those kind of people. You know, to the point to where there were situations that played out where, like in the military, in combat, there's situations that played out where you send somebody out there and you feel better that they got blasted.
Wow. Wow.
It's sad, but it's so true.
What's up, Rich?
Wow.
It's true.
Wow. So
I don't know how we got there, but
right. we got a little deep there. So
Dwayne said what he said, and it made
Right.
me tricky.
Nah, I think that was you over that one up, Pastor.
I'm gonna blame you, Dwayne.
No, see,
I
you
gotta
gotta-
tell you, I love y'all. I gotta
Theology
run,
and
man.
doctrine
All
today,
right.
man.
Yeah, see that he a real one, and it just took him back to his roots. He was like, "Hold on, yeah, with no cows around here, I ain't no punk. I ain't say you no punk. I ain't no punk. I ain't say you no punk."
But listen, guys, we appreciate you rocking with us and hanging with us. So the takeaway, because as I mentioned earlier, I apologize for not giving you guys at least some level of call to action.
Thanks for call out, Mama McCoy.
Yeah, we definitely want to hold our communities accountable. We want to make sure we're voting. We'll make sure we're registered. That is one of the absolute powers that we have. That we stay vigilant. That we're focused on what's going on around us. He said my fault, right? All of it. It's all my fault. Don't worry. I'll take it all. Let's see. So Willette said this before we close out. It's almost like we want people to care. Some people never will. Policies can't change the heart of men, but it will make them think twice when we start taking their freedom and their So
Willette dropped a bomb today, man.
She always dropping them.
Yeah. It's true. So accountability, and I know people hate this long way. They just want to get up arms and start shooting folk. You did what? Bam. You did what? Bam. And just put them to execute squad. But unfortunately, we have to try to do it the right way. I know. We've been always singing the Kumbaya songs forever, but we gotta we gotta follow the process. We gotta start thinking long term. Start playing the long game. Hey. Start playing the game long term so that we can win long term. And yes, with every action we have, there's going to be a reaction. Like I said, we get rid of the district lines, they're going to come up with another strategy. Then we just got to come up with another strategy. We just got to stay ahead of the game. Be aware. Make sure you register to vote. That's action. Make sure you register.
AD, Jason, your boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jason, all right with me.
He said, what happened when they heard a round going to clearing barrel?
The people sneaking stuff off the range.
Oh,
look, you supposed to be emptying it. There ain't nothing in the gun.
Wow.
Everybody like, whoa.
Grab him. That's nice.
I'm telling you, look, I've taken a Kevlar and gone upside somebody's head on the range for picking it up, turning around. Like, what you?
Wow.
It was a big headache, but
right. And
he had a helmet on, but yeah.
Like the word says, know those that labor among you.
Absolutely.
Know those that labor among you, because that is important. All right, guys, we're gonna get out of here. Appreciate you for rocking with us and hanging with us. He said someone going down. And make sure you join our community. Text LWN to 84576. That's LWN for 84576. If you wonder what that is, that's Legacy Walker Network. You join that and we'll get about all of our shows, the things that we're connected to, and the things that we are doing in this community. So be a part. Oh, Sam said, what's your plans, E? What's your plans?
Stay alive.
There we go. It's unfortunate. All right, guys. So
tell Mama to cook you some breakfast. Love you, Mama McCrory.
Love you, Mama.
Yes,
Thanks
indeed.
for all the birthday shout outs, everybody.
Yes, indeed. He said that's what it stands for, Ashley. Yes, indeed. All right. He said, great as you. Appreciate you, Mama McCrory, always holding us accountable and propping us up. Thank you, V. Appreciate you. All right, guys.
Richard,
take care.
Sam,
be blessed.
love
Stay
y'all.
safe.
Be blessed.
Be easy, man.
Yes, indeed. Just keep wearing your mask. I'm not going to speak on the vaccine. Keep wearing your mask. Keep wearing your mask. Stay safe. And we'll see you in next week.
I didn't want to catch that. Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Good morning. What's up, everybody?
This episode is brought to you by StreamYard. Whether you're trying to up your production or just go live, StreamYard is the place to be. Go to bit.ly/StreamYard BOL. This episode is also brought to you by Flocknote. Start your free text community now at bit.ly/freetextnow.